Okay, so hear me out. Chemistry makes everything better. Physics, biology, geology, the works. So let me give a chemistry in-depth addition to what the geology professors are all talking about when they talk about mineral polymorphs. Let me add a little bit extra to that, okay? So polymorphs are minerals with the same chemical composition but different internal structures. So I'm going to focus on the two calcium carbonate minerals that are really common, calcite and aragonite. You can get your hands on them and you can buy them quite cheaply and easily. They're found all over in rocks, and biological organisms have them as well. Okay, and just apply this to every single polymorph, which is most minerals have several polymorphs even. Okay, so what you're going to find is, if you've listened to a few of my videos, is you've got to get away from the English. Okay, so even when I look at these, even when I look at silicate minerals, and that's a great way to organize stuff, I'm not looking at that. I'm just looking straight in at the positive, negative. I'm looking at the silicon dioxide, the silicon's positive, the oxygen's negative on the outside, and how it's attracted to different other positives. And so this entire half of mineral categorization, the silicates, I kind of think of them as polymorphs too. I'm not thinking English. I'm just trying to think how the universe thinks. It doesn't think in English. It just thinks positives attracted to negative. And so if you want to understand chemistry, physics, biology, geology, you got to go to the positives attracted to negative. And then you'll see how the universe just operates without any effort and any English terms, okay? And it just seamlessly operates, okay? So the one really helpful thing about mineral polymorphs are these diagrams that they have, and they show you that the different temperatures and pressures at which the different polymorphs form, and that they will give you the different internal structures, because that's the different polymorphs. Okay, so you're going to see at the higher pressure there's a greater density, so the atoms are pushed closer together, and that is giving you a different structure. And at the higher temperatures, they're lower densities, because there's higher temperatures, more kinetic energy, so there's more vibration, more spaces between them. So that in that environment, there's a larger space. Okay, and so when you come to what we look at, which is surface temperatures, which is just like 1 atmosphere, 20 degrees, it's less pressure and less temperature, and that is the most stable form at the surface crust temperature, surface of the crust. Okay, so what you've got here with aragonite is it's at a high pressure, and so they've managed to squish 9 negative anions, the oxygens around the calcium, the one positive calcium cation. Okay, so and under less pressure, the calcite forms, which only has 6 bonds, not 9 bonds around the calcium. So if you look at the ionic table here, you'll see there's a limit between sizes here. So you've got the blue negative anions and the red positive cations, and you see the reds are all kind of the same size, and the blues are within a certain limit. And so if you look at something like beryllium and boron, you'll actually find that they're so small they can only fit about 2 or 3 negative things around them, but then the negative things repel each other, so they can't fit more in that tiny space. Most molecules have about 4 negative ions on it, and once you get to period 3 and below, you can get to a stage where you can fit 6 or even 8 negative anions around it, evenly spaced around, so that they don't repel each other. Okay, so here are the common molecular shapes, and if you haven't realized already, that the aragonite 9 is very unusual. It doesn't look right. Okay, so the calcium cation it can effectively attract many negative atoms, and the negative atoms themselves will repel each other as they're trying to attract to the calcium cation. And so the aragonite was pushed into having all these extra anions by pressure, and it also has a high densities, and as a result, the aragonite is unstable, thermodynamically unstable at surface conditions. And so surface conditions is 20 degrees 1 atmosphere. It's like what we're breathing and walking in right now. And so as a result, the aragonite is rarer, the calcite is much more common, and the calcite is much more stable. And so what the aragonite, because it's got that internal stress, whereas the positive can't really attract that many negatives, and the negatives are actually have some repulsion. It dissolves easier in the ocean, it breaks down easier, and it even breaks down and turns into calcite. Okay, and so that's the POS-neg explanation of why it forms, how it forms, and how it operates, its properties, etc. Okay, so apply that POS-neg understanding. You're obviously going to need the shapes and all the information I've shown you to refer to. And you can apply that to all the polymorphs. So there'll be a common stable polymorph, and the others will be formed under higher temperatures and pressures and be less stable, and not match ideal distances between positives and negatives. Okay, hope that's helpful.